Dr. Edith Basalirwa. Good morning, everybody. A warm welcome to all of you. I would like, from Makerere University Business School, Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Incubation Center, to appreciate you for the great job that you're doing, running your businesses, where you are creating jobs, you're bringing us new products and services, and really building the future of this country. And I really want to acknowledge that running a business is not a very simple journey. There are challenges, a number of challenges. And in our different Zoom sessions, we are really trying to address those challenges, learning from the experts who come to share with us. And one of the challenges I really acknowledge and that we want to discuss today is one of keeping financial records. And most entrepreneurs are running a business, and sometimes, they are doing it alone, or they have a few people, and they may not be able to really work or look at the importance of records. And maybe to some people it's boring. They're really busy. And what I want to say is that keeping financial records is very important for the business to survive and also grow. And research has also shown that a number of businesses in Uganda are failing because they're not able to keep records. And without those records, you may not know if you're doing well. You do not know where your money is going. You don't even know if your business is really stable. So we have addressed this in a number of forums, in our training programs. You may have seen in a video that was playing here. We have been training women under the Grow Project, managing money, and and as part of that module, we have addressed keeping records. So whereas you might have a really, really good business, without these financial records, you're not able to access funding. You are not able to unlock certain opportunities. So this morning, we want to talk about how keeping financial records will support your business to grow. And we are honored to host Mr. Joseph Mukasa, one of our own from Makerere University Business School, from the Department of Auditing and Taxation. Mr. Joseph Mukasa has been lecturing for a long time at Makerere University Business School. He has supported a lot of entrepreneurs under the Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Incubation Centre, and also outside the MUBS circles. Mr. Joseph Mukasa, you're very welcome, and we really look forward to learning from you. Thank you, and over to you. You have 40 minutes, and then we shall thereafter have a question and answer session. Over to you now.
Very good morning, every one of us there. I hope you can hear me.
No, I think your volume is very low.
Okay, maybe my voice. Oh, can you hear me well now?
Yeah, but I still think you might do something around it. I don't know about the other. Dr. Basalirwa, are you able to hear?
Okay.
Yes, I can hear him
Can you
now.
hear
I can
me
hear.
now?
That's better.
We can hear you now.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Diana and Dr. Edith. I'm glad to be here this morning and the Entrepreneurship and Innovation and Incubation Center arrangement of training entrepreneurs. It's a great duty and a noble cause that is being done. And I'm glad that I'm given an opportunity to be here to share at least the little I can add on the team here, on the people here, on the people eagerly waiting to add on their businesses. My task today is talking about the financial records for business growth. But a critical thought and reflection, when we fall back to our businesses, many times your business starts in your mind. You start running it in your mind, and everything keeps in your mind. But you'll find that it is quite, and it remains an imagination to know whether your business is growing if you have no records at hand. And of course, when the business is still small, we are still under the faith of our mind and our head to know everything that is running on in the business. But if the business is to grow, I think we can't trust our mind to know everything about our business. And yet, it is important to know where you're coming from in order to inform you of where you are going. But if you have no records of where you are coming from, I don't know whether you can really know where you are going, or it remains an anticipation at the end of the day. And I will challenge every one of us here. Look around any business you admire. Let it be small, one that has grown from small to big. And many of these businesses we see around have had their time of growing from a small unit, as small as just one's mind and a store on the roadside, to what we see today. But challenge yourself whether and find out whether any of those businesses is without any record they are keeping in order to run effectively. So you'll find that keeping financial records is very crucial for your business growth. But also it is human that we find it a very big weakness to have the discipline of keeping records. And many times we see our businesses run the first day, the second day, and the temptation we hold is when we have the cash coming in, counting the cash every day, we get the mentality of thinking that the business is okay because the cash is there. I talk to the customer, I negotiate the price, they give me the money. I go to where I buy the items, I also pay out the money, they give me the items, I come and sell. If I had 10,000, now I realize I have 15,000, so I have made money. Now, that is a very great weakness we hold, that we count our cash and come to a conclusion that we have made the money. And when we are not maintaining any much records to remind us and keep track of what is going on, we shall not be able to ascertain and know that whether the business is growing and making the real money, it is not growing. And that is where sometimes we've scampered. This year, your store is working very well, making you the money, you pay your children's fees and all your other costs. Then come next year, you realize the stock is no more. And God forbid, in many instances, we start looking at the close neighbor or a close competitor. We start looking at them badly to think that I think they are doing something fetish to really cause our businesses to fail. But sometimes, or many times, you may realize or you may not realize that lack of keeping critical records so that you can be able to analyze them is what leads us to that. And at the end of the day, the business fails or fails to grow, and then we choose or cause any other reasons attached to that. Now, keeping financial records, we have to look at it in many perspectives. How does it help us in the day-to-day running of the business? One of the things is records as evidence of our transactions. We go out and buy the things, bring them to our stores, sell them, or even acquire certain items to use in our businesses. But then at the end of the day, when you leave the store where you have acquired those goods from, what evidence do you have to really give you satisfaction or confidence that this is really your item or you own it? I've had instances where I've been at a police station and someone came reporting a case of they have stolen this item from my shop. And then the police put that person to task. Okay, if you are claiming that this is your item, what shows? Of course, there was no label and there was no anything. So the argument kept on, but this is my thing. Everyone knows it and all that. So the policeman put to task this person. Okay, when did you buy this item? It was very clear on the date he had bought the item. I bought it this time and this time. Okay, can you show where did you buy it from? He gave the answer of where he bought it from. Then the last was, can you give us, do you have the receipts which they issued you when you bought that item? Of course, he didn't have the receipts. It remained, of course, a hot argument between the policeman and all the other parties. But just imagine if this person had that receipt as evidence of that. So many times in our businesses, we ought to have these beginning records. First of all, to acknowledge ownership of what we have in our business. That scene is of a policeman. Tomorrow you'll be in a microfinance, you'll be in a bank looking for a loan, and they'll tell you, okay, you want a loan for your business. How many assets do you have in your business? Of course, you talk about, I have this, I have the shelf, I have the other. Of course, listing them that you have them, well, it is beginning information. But can the lender have confidence that really these are yours? So have you thought about some of the things that will give you that confidence in such a situation to tell these people, no, these are my items, I bought them at this. Most probably, if you had receipts that you requested for at the time of buying, that would not be a problem to explain. And many times we are challenged in such situations to think that the lenders of credit and what are so bad, they can't listen to us. These are my things and all that. So records come in handy to help us acclaim ownership rights. And it is two-way. You could be the one issuing them out to your people you are selling to, or receiving them as you buy from other people. Away from that, these beginning records like receipts and all that come as a reminder on the specifics of a transaction. Yes, you have gone out to buy something. You bought it in certain quantities, this and this and this, and amount of this. Of course, our brains are too good, but not that so good to remember the detail. And in business, we need to remember all that detail if we are to do the right accountability at a later stage and know whether we are doing business, does it make business sense or does it not make business what? Sense. So as a reminder of how the transaction went, it is important that you make those beginning documentations. Our mind, yes, when this business is as small as maybe a basket full of perishables from the bucket, yes, you might remember, but you are aiming to grow your business beyond a basket full of perishables. When you are now collecting a lorry full of perishables from Nakasero to your store, now, you need to tell me that your mind will all remember everything at the end of the day. Okay, you are now that big business selling a truck full of perishables to your customers. Will you still remember who took what in what quantities and at what price? So making the records becomes very crucial, which will be a reminder at another later time as you are analyzing your what? Your transactions. Again, the beginning records help us facilitate aggregating the financial figures. At the end of the day, when you're balancing off, these records of your sales, of your purchases, will be the key reminder not to forget anything out. And know that, yes, I sold this much, my receipts are here. I bought this much, my receipts I got are here. And when we have this information, it becomes the beginning point in drawing up your financial information. When you are looking for your expenses, you'll have a reliable source, and just beyond your mind to remember the specifics, to record that information. When you are recording your incomes, you'll have a reliable source of what was your what? Your income. Now, away from the beginning source documentation, what that is what I was talking of, is the beginning documentation, day-to-day documentation. Make receipts, get your receipts, make your orders, and all that other documentations you have to do for the beginning. I know sometimes we are too relaxed to say how important is this. If I've sold to a customer and has given me my cash, if I've received my cash, what more do I need from that person? Yes, he or she has taken the commodity. I've also got my money. So do I need to remember anything? After all, I have my cash. Yes, you'll have your cash. But if you have your cash, a data can come and also pay you the same cash. At the end of the day, all is cash. So can you differentiate that today I sold this much, but also I received the money from one I was demanding of this much? You may not be able, and you are simply looking at it as I sold goods worth 1 million, yet in 1 million there is a 200,000 which was a debt recovered at a given time. And many times when we don't analyze that, we think that, yes, I can sell 1 million things to worth 1 million things in a day, because you are not recording rightly your information. Now, that creates the importance of the beginning point of our records, financial records, is the source documentation. Source documentation, that's where you write the receipts, you write the voucher payments, you write when you go to the bank to deposit your money, you have those bank slips they will issue you with, and issue back to you when you have deposited, that you have deposited this money. When you go to the ATM to withdraw, they will give you that receipt showing that I've withdrawn this much. And all those other documentations, all those are source documentations, and they are very crucial for us to give them out to our customers, but also receive them from our other business partners as we transact with them. Now, from the source documentation, we move on to another level of having financial records. And some of these are those relating to determining our business profitability. Our business profitability, in the accounting language, we talk about income statement, but that can be complicated for us. But an income statement is just telling you, go and collect up all your expenses you have spent in the business and all your incomes, your sales you've made. Now you run to your receipts you have issued out to your customers, add them all together. Add your receipts you have received from those you have bought goods from, all the vouchers you have written to those you have paid, those will be your expenses. Now, we shall tell you that add up all your expenses and add up all your incomes from that information you have generated. And at the end of the day, you'll compare and see. When your incomes are more than your expenses, you'll jubilate that you have made a profit. When your expenses are above your incomes, then problems, you are making losses. Of course, that doesn't mean that the business has failed, but it will happen at one time. But then when you know that we've made losses, then you sit back to see, how do I make better? What did I do wrong? Did I spend more? Did I spend less? But that all comes from our source documentations you have made. Sometimes when you don't make these documentations, you will spend money and not know that you have or forget the money you spent out. We have a behavior in our business. You're at your store, conducting the day's business. Before you know it, the child comes from school. Mommy, daddy, I didn't, they have chased me away. I don't have books. The immediate thing, you'll go to the store, cash drawer, pick out how much are the books. They are for 2,000. Pick out 2,000, give it to the child, goes away. Buys the books, goes back to school. Many times you not remember that you gave out that money. So have you recorded anywhere that I gave out that money? So that at the end of the day, when you're counting the business expenses, is that a business expense? But if you will not have recorded, you are likely to forget it. You are likely to forget it, or even put it among the business expenses as usual. Yet realistically, paying for your child's books should be coming from the profit you have earned. So when you are expending, we don't expect that. You are spending it as a business expense. But when you make a profit, it is where you say, now, of this profit, I removed off paying my children is what? But it comes from the records you are making. If you are not making them, then you will not have a clear follow-up in order to determine your profitability. And when you determine your profitability ably with proper records, then you can be able to know, am I making profits? Am I making losses? And then you decide accordingly. And where do you want to be after all? Yes, you can be making profits, but is that what you want? Is that all you can make? You can only know when you are keeping these records clearly and computing the right amounts that you have really incurred or earned at the end of the day. You need to know your assets in the business. Many times when we buy these items we are using on a day-to-day, leave alone those you are selling out and replenish and then sell out again to make a profit. They are assets you are using. You have a weighing scale, you have a shelf, you have a fridge, you have you have the calculators you are using, all those items. Can I ably at any time see that these are the number of assets I have and which I bought at this moment? That means that in your business, you need to have a record which is called an asset register. An asset register. And let's not look at very complicated books that you can think of. Get an exercise book. Whenever you buy an item that you are using, you've bought a fridge to use in your business, record and show, on this date, I bought this fridge. It was worth this amount. In addition to keeping safe your receipts you got when you bought the fridge. On this day, I brought the carpenter and he made from me these stools. They cost me this much. I bought this number of timber. I bought the nails. I paid him labor for this. Total is this. You record. At a later date, you may want to borrow some money from either microfinance or a bank or what. They will start asking you, how much is your business worth? Many people asked that question and then they start looking around or start forging. Yet, if you have been maintaining every time you buy these assets you are using, you record somewhere in your asset register the amount. At that time, you'll just go add those figures up and say, my business is worth maybe 5 million or 2 million. If we are to ask, where do you base it? You bring your asset register, you see now, I have this and this and this. When they are to come to the business, evidently they will see the fridge is there, the shelf is there, and everything is there. And it will all be easy at the end of the day. I've seen loans officers who come to our businesses struggling to do the accounting for many of our businesses. When they ask you in the bank, okay, can you tell us how much assets, or in a microfinance, how much assets you have in your business? You say, for me, I don't know. Then the loans officer bothers to come in the field, looks around, sees the shelves, sees the fridge, sees the table, and then he goes on to add up. Okay, I saw this and approximates. But if you have an asset register, that would be very easy at the end of the day. Another thing is in our financial management records, our businesses do not only sell on cash basis, but they also sell on credit. Someone noted that many of the rich people we see, all the businesses we see that are big, not that all the money they use is theirs. They also have debts, or even they have debtors, which grows their business. So, yes, the best preference is to conduct. If you are selling, sell out on cash. Cash is the best transaction, but sometimes it might not be feasible to win a customer. You may sometimes have to sell on credit, because this person, you know, he's a reliable person, can pay up, he just doesn't have the money at that moment. So why do you lose that business at that point? But then if you are selling on credit, do you have where you are recording that I've sold to this person on credit? Or you are leaving it to your head that at a later time, if you don't forget, either you'll be at loggerheads with that person, being challenged, the things I gave you were worth 10,000. The other one is telling you, my friend, you only demanded me 80,000. I paid the 2,000 at a certain time. And you can't remember, and the records are not there. At the end of the day, you either will lose money, you give out your items on credit, people don't pay back and you can't remember, or you are at fights with your debtors. They pay you the money, you don't record anywhere, they come back to tell you we are paying the balance, for you are still thinking about what? Your business relations are dying out with your customers simply because you are not taking a record of your debtors and how they are paying up. The same thing with your creditors in your business, those who give you items on credit. Of course, the anticipation is that you'll come back and pay. So when you come back and pay, have you kept a record of who did you get these items on credit, at what time, and what was the promise that you will pay back? Yes, you got items of 50,000 shillings. You said I'll pay back in a week's time. When the week ended, if he has not given you a reminder, do you just keep quiet? Or do you even remember that you committed it to a week? And you see, keeping your relation with that person, he's giving you on credit today, will he give you again the next time? Of course, the way you manage your relation. But if you don't have, the biggest problem will start when you don't have a record you've made to help you follow up and see, yes, my obligation is due on this day, and I have to make it good, and I've so far paid to this amount, or is still demanding me this amount. So you need to have a record of your debtors, a record of your what? Your creditors, to help you, first of all, keep track and even manage your business relationship with these people effectively based on clear, agreed principles, which you can remind yourself every. Then we also have the cash flow, a record of your cash flow. As I indicated in the beginning, that sometimes we don't want to write, or naturally we are weak at writing and we find it excusable that we don't write. And if it is your own business, you set your rules. So if I'm not writing, what matters to me may not matter to what? To others. So many times we are likely not to rewrite. And what happens many times is this. I know that I started the day with 10,000 in the pocket or in the cash drawer. I sell as I sell, put the cash in the drawer, put the cash in the drawer, put the cash in the drawer. And then at the end of the day, I go to the drawer and I'm able to what? To count the cash. I go to the drawer. I hope is my volume any better? I hope it is any better.
It's very good now. It has improved a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So I was saying that many times we fall prey of counting our cash and think that making money is about your cash. How much cash I started the day with, how much cash have I ended the day with? Of course, it is important to keep track of our cash. What was the cash balance I started with? Sorry. What is the cash balance? And how much cash have I realized through the day? Sorry. And how have I gotten the cash? I sold this much cash. I got my debtors paying me back this much cash. I paid my creditors this much cash. And at the end of the day, I have this much cash. It is important to keep track of your cash because, as you've known, cash may not necessarily be the profit you've made, but cash, I liken it to blood. You as a living human being, you have blood. And we know the consequence of having or having not blood. And the cash, I liken it to being blood in your body. So you need to keep track of how much cash have you started with, how much cash has come in, how much cash has gone out, how much cash have I remained with, because it will determine your ability to transact either tomorrow or the next day or the next transaction that is at what? At hand. And your ability to transact, if it is not good, the business will go down. If it is bad, if it is good, your business will continue onward, growing at the end of the day. So you need to have a record of your cash, how it is coming in and how it is going out, and what is the balance of your cash, because it will determine the decisions you make at the different times in your business to either keep it going or to close it down. Take an example of you sell out goods on credit and your customers are not paying you immediate cash. Yet you have to go back to the market to buy other things. Maybe it is not obvious that for you, if you're giving out on credit, for you, when you go to buy, they will also give you on credit. They want the cash. So if you're not recovering your money from the customers and keeping your cash record clear to know your cash levels, you'll get to the time of purchasing and your business partners, for them, they want the money immediately. What do you do? Now, if you're not taking a record of your cash to know what to do at a given time, Or even at sometimes when you realize the cash is low, you say, no, this period I'll no longer give out on credit, but I need to replenish my cash. Or I need to go out to those I gave out on credit and demand the money very fast because I need it. But you'll not be able to do that if you're not informed about your cash flow, how it is moving. How much cash have you started with at a given time? How much cash has come in? How much cash has gone out? How much cash am I remaining with? Hence, how much now can I transact in the different business dealings? Away from that, our performance of the business. If we are to grow, we need to know the performance of our business. It is not just good to know I made a profit, but how much profit have I made? How much profit should I have made? Or how much profit can I really make? And you cannot know that if you have not had your records clear and in place and in good right computations. So in order to track your performance, you need to make these records. First of all, as we said, source documentation, where you have to write the receipts, the aggregation, where you will determine your profitability, determine your assets and all that, your cash flow. Then you see over time, at the given time, I made this much profit. But I dream of this much profit. Am I getting close? Am I getting away? If you are to set, sometimes you want to be like your neighbor, but your neighbor, you don't know how much your neighbor is or can do, because we don't know much about what are their assets like, how much profit are they making and all that. And many times you just look at their store and either envy them, I should be as big as them and all that. But if you have your financial records and even get clue of their financial records, I can know in her business or in his business, he has assets totaling to 10 million. And maybe that is why his or her business looks bigger. For me, in my business, I have assets worth maybe 5 million. That is the difference. I can dream of also growing to be like them, but I may not look at what they are doing and feel bad that they are doing it, and for me, I'm not doing it. We are not the same. They are bigger than us. But what informs the decision is when you have the right records showing the right amounts, transaction amounts, and hence giving you the right comparisons with your competitors or with other people. So, and over time, you can see how have you been performing. If last year you have a profit of maybe 500,000, the next year you'll be able to see you have a profit of maybe 600,000. The other year, maybe I went back and made a profit of maybe 400,000. What was the reason? Another year, you are shooting up to 2 million and above, but because you have records, which gives you a basis of reference and a benchmark to what, and even to compare with other people. Now, when you have the records clear, your relation with other business partners and stakeholders will be far easy. I've given you an example. Sometimes you want to go and borrow money, either from a microfinance or from your circle, you're a member, or from a bank, if it is a bank. And when you go there, the beginning questions they ask you, what are you doing? You tell them the business. Then they start asking you, okay, what is the size of your business? The size of your business, it begins immediately with your total asset value. But you can never know it if you're not maintaining some of those basic records like the asset register, if you're not coming up with what we normally call the balance sheet. You will not be able to what? And before you know it, if you can't answer those questions, you'll only be lucky if you have gone to a microfinance or a bank that has those goods loans officers who will say, okay, can we go to your business and we have a look at it? They come around, look at it, start looking, okay, you have a shelf, you have, is the land yours also where the business is the what? Then afterwards, they make those calculations and go there and tell their supervisors that, okay, this person is, yes, they have these things. Sometimes they even make for you those, I will call them forged accounts to show that, yes, you are there. Yet for you, do not even understand what is going on. So you are lucky if you find such. But many times our probable lenders will abandon us when they don't see such things. If you are running a business in partnership.
Yeah, Mr.
Yes,
is your
doctor.
host. I request to summarize in the next 3 minutes.
Okay, that is what I'm doing. Having these records at hand facilitates your relationship with their probable business holders and other stakeholders. We see the probable creditors. You'll deal with them easily when you have your records. There is an issue of tax payment. If you have your records clear, your relationship with the tax collectors will be easier and not a running battle. They are here, they are there, they are telling you this, for you are telling them another. But when you have your records, you relate with them very well. If your business, you are running, your source of capital is a partnership with other people, you are the one ever present there. How do you report back to them, we made this money, and they really have faith in you? If you have the records, you will show that, yes, we made this money, so we have this profit. So this is the return we have. But if you don't have records, they have a reason to doubt you and even not even to add you any more money to use in your business. So when you have the records clear, it will facilitate many of your business relationships and which will grow your business at the end of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me conclude at this point and indicate that, as I said, it's normally quite hard and it may remain as an imagination to know whether your business is growing if you don't have any financial records in your business. Thank you very much. And back to you, the host.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mukasa, Joseph, for a great presentation that you have made. I like the way you started. You made it very simple and easy for us to understand. Many times when we hear about financial records and financial bookkeeping, we get worried of numbers, but you have really made it simple for us. Thank you. You've taught us how business starts in the mind, and we need it recorded so that we have a record of what we are doing. You've given us the benefits of record keeping, evidence of our activities in the business, evidence of what you own, performance of your business. It makes payment of taxes easier, a record of your expenses, a record of your income. I will not repeat everything, but we appreciate. I know people who are logged on here have picked a lot. Thank you very much. I would like us to quickly go to the Q&A session, and I'd like to invite Mr. Mustafa Mutaka to handle the Q&A.
Thank you so much, our dear host this morning, Dr. Lirwa, and also allow me to appreciate our presenter, Mr. Joseph Mukasa, for the great presentation and the insights we just shared this morning, which is very critical for our business, that is keeping financial records for business growth. My name is Mustafa. Mutaka, and I'm handling Q&A. This morning, I would just like to request members on call, if you have a question, to raise up your electronic hand, and I'll be able to tap on you and take your question. You can also go to the Q&A and the chat, type your question, and I'll be able to read it out, and the presenter will be able to respond. When I look at the chat, I'm seeing so many questions here in the chat, but our dear presenter allow me to read a few, you respond to them, and then we move forward. This is I think this is a compliment from Professor Baho. I see that financial records are critical because some clients ask for them before giving business. These days, you can also use the records to negotiate for tax benefits. We just need to have a positive mindset towards organized financial records. The benefits are very many. Thank you so much, Professor Baho, for that compliment and insight. I'm seeing another question from Honorable Roy. She says, what is the advantage of order with cash over bill payment? And what is your take on family business that not all can follow the rules of the business records? That's from Honorable Roy. There's another question from Paul of Africa Cheese. Paul says that as far as cash is concerned, what percentage should the business maintain in cash? And since, like for Pearl of Africa Cheese, most of our clients pay after a period of 1 to 2 months. E.g., is the business is worth 30 million. I think he wants to know how much cash can they keep in their business. Honorable Roy again comes back and says that the question is, most businesses in Uganda strive better when the owner are alive and in their business. Must our business secrets be available to everyone in the family? That's from Honorable Roy. And allow me also read this from Haji Rashid Kiwawa. We have an intensive family business meeting this Saturday. Any quick clues on the financial discipline from the perspective of a family business? Present, I think I'll not read everything. First attend those ones, then I read the rest of the questions. Mr. Joseph Mukasa, please first respond to those ones, then I read the other set of questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Mustafa. One, I had a question on what do I have to say order with cash? I'll simply say, in any business, the best transaction is a cash transaction. If you can secure immediate cash payment in a transaction, that is the best. When we go to the principles of finance, money today is better than money tomorrow. But however, sometimes you'll find that to win the deal, sometimes you have to allow for credit. Sometimes then evaluate out and see. But the best transaction is that order with cash. If you can secure it, it is the best. Money today is better than money tomorrow. But in situations where to secure business, you have to give credit, then why not? But when you give credit, again, ensure give the least period possible, make immediate follow-up for payment to come as early as possible. If maybe you gave on credit and gave a week and the customer maybe turns up midweek, then even thank God, that is the best. If the week has ended, take the initiative to give an immediate reminder. What you are looking up to, cash should come in. Maybe that gives a clue. Then there is a question, how much cash do I need in my business? What percentage? I will not say what percentage you need. Look at your cash needs. I will challenge you. If you are doing your business, take at least a week. A month would do very well. Every day, record out your cash payouts and total them up every day of a week, of a month. Then after that month, get all those daily cash payouts you have gotten, add them up, see how much they are giving you. It will give you your probable cash need you have, that at any one time in a month I should have this cash, or find an average throughout those monthly payments. On a daily basis, I should have cash not less than this. And of course, it keeps on growing depending on the size of your business. We may not have a clear percentage to say ever maintain, because it differs. Imagine a bank or a microfinance that is giving out money at any time and receiving money. You'll find that its cash need might not be the same of a business that of maybe look at the school business. If you're running a school and the cash needs, there are times when really you have even no cash payouts in a given seasons and what times. So it will depend on the nature of the business. So I'm just challenging you, just take basic housekeeping, take a record of days payouts, cash payouts, day after day, for a week, for a month. Take an average of how much was it. Then it will give you daily cash needs and be able to know, if I have cash beyond this much, I think I should bank that and remain with this. It can help me run. And then financial discipline, someone noted we are going in for a family meeting. What is the financial discipline? Now, here, if it is a family meeting, it is a family business. That is, you have many stakeholders who are not day-to-day participating in that business. You who is participating in that business, you have a duty of giving accountability of how did the money come in, how did the money go out, then did we make a loss, did we make a profit, how much is it? If you don't have those things, then be sure, or if you can't answer those questions ably, as you who has been entrusted with running that business, then don't be shocked when they start accusing you of this, the other. Where did this money go? Where did this money come from? Be ready for that. I can't say that for now. It can have more implications if we know the specifics, but I'll keep it at that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph, for ably responding to the first set of questions. Allow me just give you this last set of questions, and then we close the Q&A. When you look at the Q&A, there is a question from Madam Shira Kasuja. She says, great presentation, Professor. My question is about the fixed asset register, like a fridge or a cooker, oven. At what point would I recognize it as a business asset when I'm using it for both home activities and business activities? That is from Madam Shira. Also, allow me read this last question in the chat, and we close. It is from Miss Anne Ruth. She said, thanks. In case you bought assets for your business and never kept receipts, what do you have to do? And lastly, this is from Derek Biencha. Derek says that how can someone fight the habit of not writing records just in case you are the owner of the business? Because truth be told, some of us are too lazy to write records for some expenses which are needed to be recorded. Mr. Joseph, please come and respond to those ones, and then we close the Q&A.
Thank you, Mustafa, for that. The last one, I think I've come to discover that writing is a discipline you also have to inculcate in yourself over time. It doesn't come easily. Truth be told, many of us are lazy at writing, and most so if it is at choice. So you need to ingrain in yourself the discipline to say, I have to write. And it starts gradually, and being intentional about it. That yes, this has happened, have a record somewhere, note it, note it, note it, note it. At the beginning, you may lapse once in a while, but be intentional to start practicing it. Gradually you get, and most probably how to record is something that comes in the due course, but exercising the discipline of finding the need that you have to write at any point, it starts with practice. Madam Shira, yes, a fridge and a cooker you are using partly for home use and for the business. Now, take a choice. Is it in the business? Is it at home? Most probably, if it has a trace of being used in a business, maybe give it up to the business. Of course, realistically, if it has a trace of being used in a business, dedicate it to the business. Well, of course, reality will show that you might partly still be using it for home use, but dedicate it to the business. It is supporting the business. That is what I can say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph Mukasa, for ably answering and responding to the questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we are already on top of the hour, and those questions that are still flying in the Q&A and the chat, we shall compile and share with Mr. Joseph to give you a more detailed response, and then we shall be able to share with you in the respective groups. Right about now, I want to close the Q&A and take you back to our seasoned host, Dr. Edith Basalirwa. Back to you, Dr. Edith.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mustafa Mutaka, for ably managing the Q&A. And also I would like to thank once again our presenter, Mr. Joseph Mukasa, for handling the Q&A and also interacting further with our participants. We appreciate your time. Thank you very much. I know one of these days we'll be calling you back again to say more about these financial issues. Ladies and gentlemen, also allow me to add my voice and appreciate Mr. Gutu Philemon on the other side, who is our language interpreter. Thank you very much. We've got to the top of the hour. I would like to close this, but allow me to invite the principal, Makerere University Business School, Professor Moses Mwezi, to make his closing remarks. Professor Moses Mwezi, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Basalirwa, and good morning, participants. I want to appreciate Joseph for giving us this knowledge. Of course, records are very, very important for business. We recently had a meeting with the Chancellor of Makerere University, Dr. Chiyonga, and he told me the business school has a great work to do in this economy, that if we can influence the business community, that woman in the market, to move with a notebook everywhere she goes to write what she has spent, what she has received, we shall have liberated the economy. So it is our duty as the business school, Joseph and team, Diana, that we move out of our gate and go to the markets and do a hands-on kind of arrangement, that training to liberate our business community. I'm happy that the business school is able to do this, and we have people that can come and give us basics about how to grow our businesses. So thank you so much, everybody, and have a pleasant day.
Thank you very much, Professor Moses Mwezi, our principal, Makerere University Business School. Thank you for always encouraging us and broadening what we've presented and showing the relevancy to the community. We thank you, we appreciate you, and thank you for finding time to come and attend with us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everybody who logged on this morning, and because we are running late, I'd like to appreciate our presenter again, and also remind you that remember to log on next Thursday, same time. It's better to start at 6:30 so that you also view the videos that we run before the session. I would like to end it here and appreciate everybody. Thank you very much and have a blessed Thursday. Bye-bye for now.
You gotta get up. You gotta get up and make a move. 'cause the world will never see you until you do. No, they don't really care what you're going through. So you gotta show them, baby. You gotta show them the real you. You gotta give them what you've got. No, don't let them see what you're not, 'cause you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can't be perfect, baby, 'cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you. What do you do when you can't let go? What do you say when you just don't know how you feel? And you know nobody knows how you feel, 'cause everybody's got their own damn problem. So everybody's trying to find their way, and day by day is a struggle. In this world, you know you have to hustle. Just know that you're not alone. You don't always have to be strong all by yourself. I said it's okay to ask for help. Now listen, people will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. People will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. You are a work of art. Bet you didn't think you'd come this far. Now here you are. Baby, you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can't be perfect, baby, 'cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you.